Okay. So the first word we come across is resort. We know the meaning of resort. Okay. So what does resort means? Resort is a basically a place. First of all, it is a place that is frequently visited. Okay, for holidays and recreational purpose. And the second is the action of resorting to a course of action or difficult situation. This is also resort. Okay, the use of. Now they could say next word is bigotry. What is bigotry? Bigotry is basically bigotry means कट्टरता. कट्टरता होता है नाउन होता है, ये तो पहला नाउन है. The obstinate or unreasonable attachment to belief, opinion, or a fraction in a particular prejudice against a person or a people on the basis of their membership of the particular group. Prejudice होता है, bias होता है, partiality होता है, इसको हम कहते हैं bigotry. ठीक है. ओके. और नेक्स्ट वर्ड जो हमारे पास आ रहा है वो है क्रूडिलिटी. क्रूडिलिटी होता है भोलापन. CREDULITY. क्रूडिलिटी. नाउन होता है गलिबिलिटी, नेविटी, भोलापन, विश्वासशीलता. उसके बाद एक वर्ड है डॉग विसिल. डॉग विसिल क्या होता है? द यूज ऑफ द कोडेड और सजेस्टिव लैंग्वेज इन अ पॉलिटिकल मैसेजिंग टू गार्नर द सपोर्ट फ्रॉम द पॉलिटिकल ग्रुप विदाउट द प्रोवोकिंग अपोजिशन इज कॉल्ड डॉग विसिल. डिसकंटेंटेड. डिसकंटेंटेड होता है असंतुष्ट जो हो या नाराज हो. डिसकंटेंटेड. ठीक है. दैट इज सेटिस्फाइड स्पेशली विथ वंस ओन सर्कमस्टांसेस. डेमागॉग. डेमागॉग क्या होता है बेसिकली? डेमागॉग होता है जो ऐसी जो पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स होते हैं वो वादा करते हैं तो वो सब डेमागॉग कहलाते हैं और वो पूरा नहीं करते. कुछ भी बताया जाता है. अ पॉलिटिकल लीडर हु सीक्स द सपोर्ट बाय अपीलिंग द डिजायर्ड प्रेजुडाइस ऑफ द ऑर्डिनरी पीपल. ओके. रेदर देन बाय यूजिंग द रेशनल आर्गुमेंट्स. भाई कोई रेशनल आर्गुमेंट ना करके कस ज्यादा कर करके एग्रीगेटर यू कैन से rhetorically exploit an issue for the political purpose in a way calculated to appeal to the desires and the prejudice of the ordinary people. Substantial. Substantial बेसिकली होता है कंसिडरेबल, इंपॉर्टेंट या साइज वर्थ. सब्सटेंशियल. सब्सटेंशियल अमाउंट ऑफ कैश. कंसिडरेबल. सब्सटेंशियल. ओके. पर्याप्त, सारभूत, ठोस भी कह सकते हैं. वी हैव सब्सटेंशियल प्रूफ टू जस्टिफाई द वेरासिटी ओके ऑफ द ट्रूथ्स. नाउ रेप्रोसिटी. रेप्रोसिटी नाउन है. इसका मतलब होता है द प्लेस ऑफ एक्सचेंजिंग द थिंग्स विद द अदर्स और फॉर म्यूचुअल बेनिफिट्स. पारस्परिक आपस में जो कोई एक दूसरे का जो भी कुछ कर सकता है सही उसी को हम कहते हैं रेप्रोसिटी. गॉट द पॉइंट. एपिडेमियोलॉजिकल. एपिडेमियोलॉजिकल एक मतलब महामारी के संबंध में है. ओके. एपिडेमियोलॉजिकल. दिस इज कॉल्ड एपिडेमियोलॉजिकल. ये नाउन है कि एडजेक्टिव है? एडजेक्टिव है ये. और relating to the branch of the medicine which deals with the incidence, distribution and the control of the महामारी विज्ञान. epidemiological. Precipitous. क्या होता है precipitous? Dangerously high or steep. Precipitous. Hasty or over hasty. तेज शीघ्र. Recon. Recon is basically a verb. It is to means to calculate something. गणना करना. Rife. Rife क्या होता है? Rife is especially something undesirable of a common occurrence of widespread rife. Widespread. Okay. दिस इज कॉल्ड कॉमन. कोई चीज़ जो है वो राइफ ले लेती है. पॉलिटिकल इंसिडेंट्स. कोई इंसिडेंट ऐसा हो जाता है. प्रचलित. पहला एक इक्विटेबल, फेयर एंड इम्पार्शियबल, वैलिड न्याय संगत. और रेमिनेंट. पार्ट ऑफ और क्वांटिटी दैट इज लेफ्ट आफ्टर द ग्रेटर पार्ट हैज़ बीन. बचा हुआ रेमिनेंट. अब हम इसमें चलते हैं एडिटोरियल सेक्शन में. तो एडिटोरियल में ये है पहला आर्टिकल अपने पास. ट्रम्प ऑफ द रेटोरिक. ट्रम्प ऑफ द रेटोरिक. So UPCM resorts to illogical remarks in the zeal of use of religious polarization for the electoral success. For demagogues, the facts and the logics are the little use when the still rhetoric serves their purpose. तो कह रहा है कि जो डेमागॉग होते हैं बेसिकली उनको क्या है कि फैक्ट्स और वो कम ही मतलब रहता है जब उनका काम उससे हो जाता है. भाई जो भाई फैक्ट्स से उनको खास मतलब ही नहीं रह जाता जब वो काम जो है ऐसा ऑथर कह रहा है. और उनका जब काम जो हो जाता है उसी से हो जाता है कुछ भी झूठे वादे करने से और बातें बहुत सारी बना लेने से. Bigotry in the politics rhetoric act as a that can as a dog whistle is a key weapon in the electoral battle. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath remarks to the state could become Kashmir, West Bengal, or Kerala if voters committed to a mistake. Could have been at any point of the time or the contextual context. Love for the stretching credulity. Okay. But the purpose was not to suggest that India's most populous state had much to lose in socio-economic terms if it were to go the way of the three states mentioned. So जो ऐसी बात है कि but the purpose was not to suggest, though Uttar Pradesh CM has done such kind of remarks. So their purpose was not to suggest that India's populous state means Uttar Pradesh had much to lose in socio-economic terms. Okay, if it were to go to that way of the three states. He mentioned the name, so basically the author is trying to means criticize the Uttar Pradesh the particular remarks. CM Rehan. Kerala ranks among the best in many social. Now he's telling the best thing about those particular states. Kerala ranks among the best in many socio-economic indicator. J&K above the average, while the West Bengal is ahead of the UP in most metrics. Okay. Instead, it was the raise of the dog whistle. Also, the Kerala and J&K, the Kashmir Valley specifically, have the higher proportion of the religious minorities than the rest of the country, while the West Bengal too has an above average composition of Muslims. Okay. The important of Mr. Adityanath remarks was that the three states have a polity with a significant minority representation. Okay, तो ये उनका आशा था. This is unlike the UP, where despite minorities being close to 20% of the population, their corresponding proportion in the outgoing assembly is much lower. 5.9%, 9 legislators are absent in the ruling BJP, which won more than three-fourths of the seats in the 20. An electoral defeat of the BJP would entail higher minority representation and an outcome that the chief minister sought to warn against it in his statement. Okay. The poor indicators on the several livelihoods factors and the socio-economic development in UP are related to some extent to the governance outcomes. The BJP has sought to address this through the welfare delivery, the direct benefit schemes, transfers, and centrally sponsored schemes. In an ideal situation, the party would have stood by this record of welfare delivery and its hard line stance on tackling the crime. But residents in the states have also suffered during the COVID 19 pandemic on account of the inadequate primary health infrastructure, beside other structural features that would have helped to tackle the long term poverty and the undevelopment, inflation, and rampant. Rampant, you understand rampant? I have told you the meaning of rampant. Rampant is basically, you can say, mm, to increase. Okay, rampant is basically uh, rampant to increase. I don't know them very much clearly. Rampant unemployment have also dented the effect of the minimalist welfare delivery mechanism, with the farmers movement in western UP making its mark and discontent among other OBC segments, aiding at the formidable social coalition stitched together by the party which helped it with substantially from 2014 onwards. The BJP and Mr. Adityanath have reverted to the base politics of religious mobilization and attempts at polarization on these lines. Okay. If the indications following the first phase of the voting are anything to go by, this strategy does not seem to be working. Yet, it would be too naive to expect Mr. Adityanath and the other politician to change course. So, so this was articles all about Yogi Adityanath, relating to the what he said in a particular speech or whatever he comments. Okay, I was rampant. Rampant is uniyantrit, means unruly, rampant, unlimited, fierce. And there was a word rampant. Okay. No. So this is all about the article. Now let's deal with the next article. What is written here? Clearing the airwaves. In what will the world must prioritize the equitable health care and also reclaim the earlier normality. Okay. In what will cheer the tourism industry and travelers, the government has allowed the fully vaccinated passenger from 82 countries to skip the mandatory quarantine period from 14 February. The requirement of the compulsory on arrival testing for the passenger from the certain countries identified at risk has also been removed. These guidelines from the Ministry of Health apply to the countries with whom the India has pact of the reciprocity, and including the UK, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, or those with the significant traffic out in India. Currently, India has the air bubble agreements with 35 countries. The government had earlier moved to resume the international flight from the December 15, but withdrew the decision due to the Omicron variant. The tourism industry estimates the COVID-19 has caused losses of rupees 150 lakh crore since the March 2020 prior to the pandemic. India had at least 1.1 crore inbound tourists and 2.7 crore outbound tourists annually, said industry estimates, and the new relaxation appeared to be in the line of the recoup these numbers. There are sound epidemiological reasons. There are substantial epidemiological reasons for the decision. India's trajectory of the fresh COVID 19 cases is declining from the close to 33 lakh. 3 lakh cases a date on January 24 to around 58 lakh 58,000. I'm sorry, 58,000 cases a day now. It bears remembering that the precipitous fall means a significant fall, the speed of which significant significant random fall. Okay, so this precipitous fall, uh, the speed of which unusual compared to the previous wave, is also due to the change in the testing attitudes. The easier availability of the rapid antigen test that can be self-administered has seen more cases being registered outside the system of the government tracked RT-PCR testing and not reflecting in official cases counts. Okay. Overall, while the relative mildness of the Omicron variant compared to the Delta variant has meant that many of these infected did not need hospitalization, the availability of the vaccines has also contributed to the third wave posing a diminished health threat. Okay. Though the deaths continued to rise, it was not the same as degree as earlier, though a full reckoning will take more time after the excess death tallies from the states to become public. Finally, the varied results internationally from the booster doses in that they were not enough to deter transmission have led to a broader acceptance that the coronavirus cannot be eliminated by the vaccines alone but can be repelled over time with a mix of approaches such as wearing mask vaccinations and accepting the short lockdowns. Moreover, there is also no situation where herd immunity be ensure will ensure eliminate a virus as a breakthrough infections and reinforce the arrive. The opening of the schools and the normalizing of the air travels imply that the world must learn to prioritize the equitable healthcare and improve hygiene, yet move forward, reclaim and repair the social and economic remnants of the pre-pandemic period. Okay, so this was all about the article, and it is very much clear. Nothing to means nothing like that, which is difficult here.